What's going on, everybody? So, I was having a discussion with Trina the other day, and we were actually socializing over the variables of negativity because I find that there is this demonization of negativity that has been taking place for about a decade now, with this doctrine of thinking positive, and in doing so, it actually demonizes anything remotely close to negative, and it is very unhealthy. I find for people to do this because they're actually avoiding not only another side of reality that will always exist, but they're avoiding another side of themselves that can be used to actually transmute and liberate whatever challenge or struggle they're experiencing. But it is important to differentiate between the negativity that you have to face, the negativity that is required for you to grow, and the negativity that is just a bunch of bullshit that you can always, for the most part, avoid and never be a part of. So, I find it is very simple when you look at it from an internal and external viewpoint, okay? Internal negativity, all right? Because negativity is, a very broad generalization, and it is also up to the receiver that interprets negativity. But we can put negativity, internal negativity, in the categories such as pain, okay? Categories such as challenges, discomfort, and conflict, okay? And even suffering, all right? I think that these forms of negativity is needed in life for people to actually tap into their full potential and overcome whatever obstacle they're experiencing. And if they avoid these types of intrinsic feelings of negativity, then they will never be able to become who they really are. They will never be able to tap into their full potential, and they will most likely settle for mediocrity and avoid who they really are. Okay. And it's important to even consider that suffering, okay, is a requirement and almost a prerequisite that you have to face and you have to deal with and is necessary in this reality. Because to tell you the truth, most of the youth in the Western world don't know suffering. Okay, it's just that simple. And even actually, the majority of the population from all age brackets don't know suffering. Okay, you know, people suffer from the idea of having to move back in with their mother, or not being able to afford to pay for their apartment, being let go from work, et cetera, et cetera. It's not like the rest of the world's definition of suffering, where you're a 5-year-old kid, you have to go scavenge for rats in your village because you have to provide food for your family that is dying from malaria. You see, these are completely two different programs of suffering. And the difference is that most of people's suffering comes from the feeling, okay? It's self-inflicted. And the beautiful thing about suffering, okay, and the beautiful thing about internal negativity is that when you experience pain, and when you experience discomfort, and when you experience internal challenges within that causes suffering, you start to ask, why in the fuck do I feel this way? And the more that you face it, and the less that you avoid it through eating, through having sex, through drugs, and through different outlets, um, you start to realize that you are the cause for your suffering through your lack of action, through your lack of awareness, and through your lack of willingness to change. Okay, now it's important to recognize that there is a lot of negativity that should be avoided at all costs. Okay, but the internal elements of negativity that I just spoke on, I feel is required for people to face. And just because you think positive, and just because you want to, be this super duper optimistic octopus or whatever the fuck, you have to face conflict, you have to face challenges, you have to face discomfort, or else you are not going to grow. But when it comes down to the external means of negativity, such as drama, such as people in your life belittling your character, saying you can't do it, gossiping about other people, distracting you, having some type of passive aggressive attitude about what you do in life, okay? Trying to be an attention seeker by, bringing their drama into your reality and thinking that it's your obligation for you to deal with it. Okay, that's a bunch of nonsense. All right. And that's the type of shit that is external. That's the type of shit that you can remove from. You can, if you can't change the people around you, then you have to change the people around you, you dig? So if people are overcritical about what you do, always have to say something about how you do things and the way you do things and why you do things, and they're over there pretty much doing the same things, if not worse. They're micromanaging your life and saying, oh, don't do it this way, and they're constantly looking over your shoulders, and that type of negativity, that type of external negativity with the characters and the individuals and even close loved ones, okay? Because a lot of the times these negative traits come from the people you care for the most, have to be handled, and they have to be removed, and they have to be transmuted in some way, shape, or form, okay? It is these external elements, it is these unnecessary components of negativity that I feel have to be avoided in order for people to operate efficiently, okay, and properly and correctly. And that is different between internal negativity, as I spoke of, between, discomfort and pain and even suffering. Is completely different from just letting someone in your life that is just unnecessary and just a waste of your time and a waste of your energy and constantly bringing you down to their level, okay? So I thought it was important to make this video to kind of share the trap, I would say, of thinking positive, all right? Because a lot of the times when you think positive, you want to avoid negativity, and when you do that, you avoid who you are, all right? And you never really become that person you want to be. So it's important to recognize what elements of negativity you want to avoid and what elements of negativity you have to face. And more importantly, you must embrace for you to grow.